Welcome to the Breaking Into Finance podcast. My name is Craig Thompson, and this is the open source field guide to help you understand everything you need to know about breaking into finance. Let's dive in. When I was an undergrad trying to break into finance, my biggest frustration was that I had no idea how to effectively signal my ability to be a great analyst. I struggled to find the right internship because I started the process late, I had no family connections in the industry, and I had a 3.5 GPA at a small liberal arts college in Vermont that didn't offer any finance or accounting classes. I felt like I had no idea where to begin, in part because I didn't really understand what level of knowledge I should be trying to achieve. Despite all of that going against me, I still got an investment banking job at Goldman Sachs, where I got an early promotion to associate after ranking in the top quartile among analysts each year. From there, I went on to a private equity role at KKR and then became a serial entrepreneur after getting my MBA from Wharton. How did I do it? Honestly, it was mostly luck, and I really needed luck because frankly, the only resources out there at the time were online message boards, which weren't super helpful, or tutors and instructors that cost hundreds and likely thousands of dollars. But now that I'm in this position, I've learned a lot about what it takes to get an elite investment banking job starting from scratch. My goal for this podcast is to give you free access to everything you'll need to change the trajectory of your career. If you want to get a job in investment banking, private equity, venture capital, or a hedge fund, you've come to the right place. Through this podcast, I will teach you the technicals from the bottom up. We'll bring on industry professionals to talk about their paths and what resources help them get to where they are. We'll record mock interviews with real students and give them live feedback. And we'll also share detailed perspectives on career paths and salary expectations for a wide range of finance jobs. We'll also take your questions along the way and make sure you have everything you need to ace your interview. Building technical skills in finance, like learning accounting, corporate finance, and financial modeling, is one of the biggest challenges that students face, but together, we're going to tackle it head on. I've found that many people have a misconception that learning these technical skills requires advanced mathematics. In reality, though, it's a lot closer to learning a foreign language. I want you to learn the jargon by hearing how words get used and practice speaking yourself. Because remember, unlike tests that you take in school, your interviews are oral, not written, so verbal communication is key. And by the way, that's one of the biggest reasons why networking calls are so critical. It's almost impossible to show well in an interview if you haven't worked with a, air quotes, native speaker, like a second-year analyst beforehand. To help us along the way, we've recorded over a dozen hours of content coaching 2 real students so you can get the inside scoop and follow along. After listening to this podcast and engaging with the content, you will have the equivalent of dozens of informational interviews under your belt to maximize the chances of getting your dream job. Lastly, I want to be clear that I'm going to editorialize a lot and give you my unfiltered opinions on various career paths, the firms I've worked for, and how to cut through the bureaucracy. This is based on my lived experience at some of these elite institutions. So what you'll hear in future episodes will cover real coaching sessions with current students, interviews with industry professionals, all the accounting, corporate finance, and financial modeling skills you'll need to ace your interviews, advice for interview prep, networking, and resume building, what a day in the life of an analyst looks like, and even case studies of types of transactions that you'll work on. I strongly encourage everyone to listen to each episode in order, but feel free to skip around if you really want to, or you can also go back and revisit old episodes as well. That does it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and remember to check out our website, breakingintofinancepodcast.com, where you can submit questions, join our Substack to stay up to date on new content releases, and much, much more. We'll see you next time.